Arjun was an ordinary teenager with an extraordinary dream. He wanted to succeed, make his family proud, and prove to himself that he was capable of achieving great things. But life had other plans. Every night, while the rest of the world slept, Arjun sat alone at his desk, surrounded by books and unfinished assignments. He worked hard, sacrificed his free time, and gave everything he had. Yet despite all his efforts, success seemed farther away than ever. One day, the results of an important exam were announced. With trembling hands, Arjun looked at his score. 39%. At that moment, his world seemed to collapse. He stared at the paper in disbelief. He had worked so hard, yet he had failed. The disappointment was painful, but what hurt even more were the words of others. Some classmates laughed, some whispered. Others simply said, "He'll never succeed." That night, Arjun sat by his window and stared at the dark sky. Questions filled his mind. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should just give up. For hours he battled with his thoughts, but deep inside, a small voice refused to stay silent. It reminded him of his dreams, his goals, and the person he wanted to become. So Arjun opened his notebook and wrote 3 promises to himself. I will try. I will improve. I will never quit. The next morning, everything changed. While others were sleeping, Arjun woke up at 5 o'clock. He started studying before sunrise. Day after day, week after week, he continued working. The journey was not easy. There were moments when he felt confused. There were moments when he felt exhausted. There were moments when he wanted to quit. But every time he felt weak, he reminded himself why he had started. Fortunately, Arjun was not alone. One day, a teacher noticed his determination and offered him guidance. The teacher said, "Success doesn't belong to the smartest person. Success belongs to the person who refuses to give up." Those words changed Arjun's life. He began practicing more. He asked questions. He learned from his mistakes. He stopped fearing failure and started seeing it as a lesson. Soon he found friends who shared his goals. They studied together, encouraged each other, and reminded one another that success is a journey, not a race. Months passed. Then one day, Arjun received another test result. He closed his eyes before looking. When he finally opened them, he couldn't believe what he saw. 85%. For the first time in a long time, he smiled. He realized something important. He wasn't failing anymore. He was improving, and improvement meant hope. With every passing day, Arjun became more confident. The fear that once controlled him slowly disappeared. In its place grew determination, courage, and belief. Finally, the day arrived. The final examination, the exam he had spent months preparing for. As he entered the examination hall, he took a deep breath and whispered to himself, "Give it your best." He wrote every answer with confidence. Then came the hardest part, waiting. Days later, the results were released. Arjun sat in front of his computer with shaking hands. His heart raced. He clicked the button, and there it was, 92%, a plus grade. For a moment, he couldn't move. Then tears filled his eyes. All the pain, all the failures, all the sleepless nights, all the sacrifices. They had finally paid off. Arjun had done it. But this achievement was not the end of his journey. It was the beginning of a new one. Soon his hard work and determination were recognized. He was invited to receive an award for his outstanding achievement. As he walked onto the stage and accepted his trophy, he remembered the boy who once sat alone, believing he would never succeed. The crowd cheered, his teachers smiled, his friends celebrated. And for the first time, Arjun truly understood something powerful. Success is not about never failing. Success is about refusing to stay down after you fail. Standing there with his trophy raised high, Arjun shared one final message. Never give up on yourself. Your dreams are possible if you keep believing, keep learning, and keep moving forward. Because success doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from courage, persistence, hard work, and the decision to never quit.